It's Friday, it's 7 o'clock, it's time for the stream. Hey everybody, welcome back to Conan Exiles Age of War Chapter 4. Lots more still to explore this evening for the next couple of hours. A very concerning bug to discuss as well, which we'll talk about shortly. And yeah, some different fatalities to take a look at with the weapons. Kind of showcase a little bit what they do. We'll do a bit of exploring around the map, maybe take on a dungeon or two, see how we go for time. But anyway, hope everybody's good, hope you're all well. And this, as of today, of today's stream, this is the current bazaar that is in. So just bear with me 1 second. I just need to sort a couple of things out here.
Hello and welcome. Hello waving hand.
Smoker, good evening. I hope you're well. Good to see you. How are you doing? Hope you're good. Right. So as I say, that is the current bazaar as of today. I've actually just got this set as well, the dungeon expansion. Done a little build with it that we may take a look at if we get some time, or I may say that for another occasion.
I'm good mate, how you and Jem?
We're alright, thank you. Not too bad at all. Like I say, can't believe it's Friday again and it's stream night once again. 2 streams this week. Tuesday being the launch day, obviously, then today. Just saw a video from Whack4863 before I went live, talking about a bug that people need to watch out for that we'll discuss in stream. We'll talk about that in stream as well, just make people aware of it if they don't already know. So yeah, hope everybody's good. Glad to see you all in. And yeah, the item you can see me sitting on is one of the items that you can purchase from the new vendor at the new event. Well, it's a limited time event, so it's one of the items that you can purchase. Obviously, it's on a Jabal Sag, but not going to go into too many of these today, but may look at them later on if we get time. But what I thought we'd do is we'll do a bit of exploring again, kind of see what's new, what's changed, see how some of the combat's changed with some of the bosses.
Hi guys.
And we'll show off some of the weapons as well. Because I know we didn't get through all the fatalities on Tuesday with the different weapons. I know we saw the Sword of Crom, but we've still got a hammer to have a look at, the katana and the two-handed axe, so we'll have a look at those and show off the fatalities for those as well.
Hi Bilana, how goes?
But yep, welcome on in, every single one of you. And of course today, for those who've missed her, we've got our good old faithful friend here, Mr. Lindsay, a snow hunter, so we'll take her with us today. We gave her the day off on Tuesday, but we'll take her with us. Let her have a bit of fun today, seeing as she's our trusted companion. So, like I say, I think we'll kind of continue a little bit, do a bit of exploring, see what else is new, what's changed. I did actually find something in Seppa Maru that was actually different, that we'll go take a look. That we'll go take a look at as well. Kathy-Ann,
evening lads.
Good to see you.
Evening chat.
Robert, good evening.
To get my PC back.
Welcome on in, all of you. Lovely to see you again. Here we are again. Friday, normal routine. It's a sign the weekend starting, isn't it? Yeah, bit of a concerning bug in game at the minute. I don't know if anybody's seen Whack 4863's public announcement. I just haven't had a chance to do one yet, but I'll be doing that as soon as. And it's kind of related to the were hyenas that attack you at night. It's a little bit concerning, to be honest. Well, we'll hang on a little bit longer, just give a few more people a chance to come in, and we're not having to repeat it too many times. But yeah, as I say, we've got our good old faithful friend Dylan here back with us. So, what I think we'll do is, what do we want to do first? So we need to have a look at some more of the fatalities and show those off. As I say, I've got a katana on me, so we'll show that one off. We've not done that yet. Got a two-handed war axe, and then Crom's hammer, so we'll have a look at those. Kind of show off some of the fatalities and the way they work as well. I know we saw a few on Tuesday, but we didn't really get to cover them all. So we'll hopefully have a look at those. Let's just see how Delencia does a minute. I've kind of tweaked her settings again a minute. I just want to see kind of what she does, because it seems to keep resetting one of them. Oh yeah, there we go. I've got her on aggressive, so she's attacking everything straight away, which is good. Which is what I want her doing. And I've got her following me pretty close as well. Get that guy, please. Bang. Oh, we've got another one coming in, yeah.
I'm the first to press the like button. Oh me ducks. Sorry I'm late testing a new perch-based design.
Howdy me ducks. How's it going? You're not late, we were just waiting for you. Oh, there we go. It's out there now. Yeah, how's it going, the new, how's it going, the purge? How are you getting on? Is it as scary as they say it is? I haven't had chance to, I haven't had time to try one yet. Let me just jump into this mode a second. Can't remember where the big guy is, and I don't want to end up obviously going past him. There he is. End up getting Delencia killed by him. We were noticing on my server as well last night on here. Myself and one of my admins was on. We had the night. It went to night time.
Is so simple, be effective. Did a level 10 on release day.
Oh, of course, yeah. Definitely looks effective. Oh, that flipping the star caller when he's dropping that flipping star metal in. They don't have to do some damage. Right, so yeah, that's the event hub, as we all know. Obviously his fatalities won't work with having Delencia with me, because she'll just jump in and
Smoker's waving hand.
She'll end up killing everybody before we get to them. So
do the meteors kill your thralls?
They can do, apparently, yes. If it does enough damage to them, it could kill you, and it could kill your followers. But I think, or I do believe, I mean, I do might know about this. I was watching Anna Briella's streams on the beta, and she seems to have sort of kind of got an idea with it that depending on where your coffer is, the meteors fall sort of within a radius of your coffer. So if you've got a line of followers, for example, and they're kind of out of the way a little bit, away from your base, they may avoid taking damage, but yes, it does damage them, and it could essentially kill them. And they could kill you as well. They're pretty brutal, to be honest, from what I've seen. So if you want to let a few land, just because you need a fresh restock of star metal, then by all means let a couple land, but if you don't want to let it carry on, because that guy will carry on summoning them right until the end of the purge, if you don't kill him.
HMMM Meteor Storm. Must remember to pack the larger of my umbrellas.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep, yep, need the bigger umbrella, definitely. I like it. Yeah.
Steel umbrellas.
Steel umbrella. Don't know about steel, there might need to be reinforced steel, the way the meteors come down. Yeah, when myself and my admin, we were checking last night. We had the night time like it is now. And Funcom did say, with these were hyenas that attack you at night, you're only supposed to get attacked by one per night. But in the whole time that it was dark, I was just like I am now. I don't have cloak on. So if it goes to night time as it is doing now, we should hopefully get attacked by one. But I was finding that in that time, just wandering around in the desert, because we were just chatting as well, I actually got jumped by about, not when I say four, not four in one go, but I'd get attacked by one, then a few minutes later there was another one, then a few minutes later another, and I think by the end of it was about 3 or 4 in one night, and we didn't know whether something had glitched out or something had happened with it because there was 2 of us in the same clan online, and whether that's a bug or whether that is
Hi everyone.
like a stealth change that they've done. Kevin, hello, good to see you.
Hi Kevin.
Welcome on in. So actually, while this is happening, while I've got Delincia with me, we'll let it go to night time still. And I can kind of show you what I mean about these hyenas if nobody's tried it yet, to see what they look like when they spawn in.
Hello Kevin.
And there's a few of you here now, but I can also mention it later as well. Be very, very careful if you play on either an official server or like me, your own server like this that is constantly worrying. I don't believe it's an issue with single player, but if you play on a community server or your own community server that you run if you own your own server, or an official server, when these were hyenas that spawn, hopefully we'll get one in a minute now, what should happen, I say what should happen here, what is happening is a bit of a bug at the moment, that the were hyena that you can buy as a pet, so not the big were bear guy, the actual normal hyenas like you see up at the event
Last
hub.
week was Monty Python quotes. Going for Blackadder this week. You could collect some star metal and make an umbrella out of that.
Yep. Yeah, these were hyenas. There he is. Look, watch what happens. Watch him attack Delincia now. Don't worry, she won't. She shouldn't die because obviously she's got a lot of health. Right.
Hello, hello.
Ignore me a minute. Now watch. Look. Look. She's on attack everything, so she should be defending herself right now. And even if I point at him and say attack, look, I'm telling her he's there. Look, attack. You can see it popping up on the right hand side. She's not attacking it.
Julius, Kev waving hand.
So I need to just take him out quickly. She's only took minimal damage. Now she's freaking out a little bit, so we need to say, it's alright Delincia, come here, return. Yeah. Be very, very mindful of these guys.
Hi, Julius.
When you're out and about. Julius, good to see you. Got your favourite friend, and mine, obviously, and Angar, and a few others. Delincia. We gave her a day off on Tuesday, but she's back at it now. Yeah, those were hyenas when you're out and about. If you've got a follower with you, especially if they're quite squishy, that hyena will kill them, and that follower will not attack them. Now there are a couple of videos out there, and if you've seen them,
that's an annoyance.
Whack4863 did one.
Every time.
That
I would be a bit freaked out if a hyena attacked me too.
Yeah, this is all part of the event, the limited time event, and that is supposed to happen. However, these guys that you can also buy as a pet from the event vendor, if I look in the right direction, where is it? There. You can buy them as a pet, and when you command them to fight and you go out fighting with them, they will attack other enemies, but the enemy NPCs will not attack them, so they won't take damage, but they can kill everything. But the downside is that with these guys that spawn on you, as you just saw there,
after spending 4 hours formatting my book,
they will attack you or your follower, as it just did then. But even when I was giving Delancey the command to attack it, she wouldn't attack because they are essentially cloaked. So like when we use the admin cloak to go invisible or creative like I am now, that creature is also doing like the pet version does. And they are also cloaked, so that even though they're attacking a human thrall, as they're called in the game, they'll do it to pets as well. That NPC of yours or somebody else's will not attack that enemy because, sure, you've all seen like the Predator movies, for example, where it uses its cloak technology. Essentially, that enemy isn't there. So if you didn't know, if I left Delancey stood somewhere and that thing spawned and it didn't go for me and it aggroed straight on her, it will stand there hitting her until it kills her, and she will not defend herself even if she's on attack all enemies, because according to her it's not there. Great as the pet version, if it's following you and you're telling it to attack everything, it's not going to die. But be very, very careful when you're out at night, because it will, if it attacks your follower, they won't defend themselves. Not only that, if you're out and about, say you play on an official server and you're running past somebody else's base and this were hyena spawns on you because you caused it to spawn, and you run really close past to somebody else's base that has a couple of guards outside, but it doesn't attack you and it aggroes on their guards, exactly the same. Their guards won't see it and it will stand there and it will kill their NPCs. So Whack's advice at the minute, Whack4863, he's done a video, it's about an hour or so before this stream, if you haven't seen it, check that one out, that if you've got any pets or thralls guarding your base on the outside,
climb up the wall near them low.
Get them inside your base. Do not leave them standing outside your base because they'll end up dying. Or if you're going to log off for the night, if you're on an official server, put all your pets or people inside, because like I say, if somebody's running past your base and a were hyena spawns on them, they're going to end up potentially killing somebody else's followers as well. That is a bug and they are aware of it apparently, so hopefully in the there's a hot fix apparently planned for end of next week, is it? Late next week, addressing a few issues, so hopefully that will be one of them. So yeah, just be very, very careful, because essentially they are invisible to you. So even though I was commanding Delancey and telling her to attack it, she wouldn't attack because in her eyes there was nothing there. So just be very, very mindful of that one and be careful. You don't want to lose your followers.
Here you'll house things.
Naughty, good to see you. Welcome on in. And I just noticed...
It wouldn't be a Funkin release without some bugs.
Exactly, yeah. Bit of a worrying bug that though. You know, that there's an enemy out there that you could accidentally cause to kill somebody else's followers. I just help.
This bug, I have no words. How has the Chapter 4 release been overall though?
Overall, first impressions I've got to say, well, there is one thing that is a bit of a, if I am being honest, quite a big issue for me. I'll talk about it in a second. Content wise, up to now, I've got to say, apart from that worrying concern with that hyena, which is no problem for me to take out, but overall, pretty impressed with it so far. It's cool, you know, how this whole thing works, that you've got to kill these were hyenas to get these fangs and then get the map to then discover the new POI, and you can buy different things from it, like this bestial regalia, the top that I'm wearing now and that Delancey's got on, although be it a bit expensive, 1,000 fangs. And there's a couple of weapons and things as well, and some other placeables, which I was going to look at tonight, but being that Angar covered it in his beginner's guide, actually, that came out today, where he shows off all the different items that you can get from it. I'm not going to cover that straight away just yet, because I don't want to, what's the expression, rain on somebody else's parade, because I'm not that sort of person. So if you haven't seen his latest beginner's guide that he just brought out today, do check that one out, and he goes through all the different pieces and shows you them and gives you the price of how much they are. So do check out his video there. Like I say, it's his latest beginner's guide, and he goes through all the different items that you can purchase from there and gives you a little tip on a way of how to get enough fangs and what have you.
Baby animals don't run away anymore. It makes them easier to scoop up multiple critters.
Ah.
Gonna have to leave early seasonal tire change for the car.
But yeah, that
whirlwind blades have the best fatalities.
Right. I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked at the whirlwind blades yet. Yeah. But there are quite a few that are brutal, shall we say. I'll show a couple of those off in a minute. We'll go through War Makers a little bit, just have a look at that, see if there's anything any different, see how things go, and then we'll pop over to the den maybe or somewhere. And like I say, you've seen the two-handed sword, the one-handed axe, but we'll show off the katana, a hammer, and what's the other thing? I've got a two-handed axe as well. Kind of show you how those fatalities work, and the spear, which is quite an interesting one. Yeah, have fun, naughty, definitely.
Did the whirlwind one today? Awesome.
Nice, very cool. Yeah, one of the biggest, and I don't know if Funcom are aware of it, because I was kind of hoping with these
hot. They're gonna revert the bearer's HP.
Anna Briello's just doing a stream as well at the same time, and I just saw her talking about some patch notes for a hotfix that's coming out. I think it's at the end of this coming week, hopefully. And I was hoping a fix to it may be in that, but I don't think they are changing it as of yet, or I'm certainly hoping that they're aware of it. But as I've mentioned before, my eyesight unfortunately isn't very good. And both Kaya on Fire and Angar even as well, I've both mentioned it in a video, that if you look at the new UI, although you get all this extra information in it now, which is great, a lot of the icons, certainly the writing and the squares themselves, seem a lot smaller to me than what they used to be, and it is I've got to be honest, a bit more of a struggle for me, so that's why I'm a little bit slower at changing to certain things or doing some things now, because it's a bit of a struggle on the visual side to it. Now, I don't know if this is something that they could revert back to how it used to be with all the additional information still, because I mean, I'm no computer expert, but looking at that screen, there's plenty of room to stretch out those.
Not made for peeps with sight issues.
No, it's definitely
still small.
It's definitely not compared to the old version. I'm like I say, I'm no computer whiz, but I'm sure you could easily stretch those two outer boxes out a little bit to the side and down slightly, still fit all of those squares in and all that information quite easily, which would make it similar to how it used to be, but obviously with more information. Now, whether that's just something they can do very easily, I don't know, or if they're not able to.
Your pain. My eyes are pretty bad too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's no fun, is it? Especially when this is a game that has made my channel, if you will. This is how I've been growing this channel, and it's also my favourite game. Last thing I want to do.
Let you choose the new or old system, like with the combat system.
Yeah, if they can't change it back to how it was with the extra stuff in, because it's not possible, Could it not be done, like you say, like the old combat system has an opt-in, opt-out
I'm
option?
always losing track of which box is highlighted.
Yeah,
There is
I've
enough
no.
space to enlarge the menus. Not
Yeah,
to mention the menus are key.
yeah, more than enough space. And I've noticed that, like you say, with the cursor, when you hover over something, the highlight box, that seems a lot fainter to me as well than what it used to be. I used to be really quick at being able to hover over something, and I knew by that bright box and the size of everything, where everything was, and I was really quick with it. And I'll be honest with you guys, I am struggling to do it a lot more now, which is making my content a lot harder to do. And I feel like I'm having to make you guys be more patient because I'm having to keep stopping and moving to the side on my screen to look at something a lot easier. And it's a struggle, and it shouldn't be like that. Not just from a content creator perspective, but someone who plays the game. And the last thing I want to do is stop playing it because, like I say, it's my favourite game. And obviously, it's not only just my favourite game; it's also the game that I made my channel on. So it's either, yeah, they either need to enlarge what's there now and revert it back, like with the
I
combat.
wish Funkin would. I miss seeing item info in the quick select wheel.
They either need to do that, or they need to either revert it like that, or like you say, like the combat changes, add it as an option that in your gameplay settings you can enable it, which gives you something close, if not exactly the same as the old UI, with all the information in it still, obviously, but bigger, like it used to be. Then that way you could toggle it on and off, and then it makes it fair for everybody. Then it keeps those happy who can manage with it, because unfortunately there are the people out there who would complain, oh, why is it being made bigger again? Because they don't understand. But then you also need to consider your players that play who have got the eyesight difficulty. So I'm hoping, and even if they said, alright, we'll do that, but it's going to take, 2 weeks to implement, I will quite happily wait 2 weeks and struggle, knowing something is coming that is going to make my favourite game UI easier to play again. I will quite happily battle on for 2 or 3 weeks if they say they're going to do something, rather than not have anything and try and A, carry on playing my favourite game, but also keep trying to make content on it. It's putting a lot more strain on me to do that now.
And see them complain then. So frustrated.
Yeah.
Would anyone complain that it was bigger again? Did someone actually want it how it is now?
I don't know. You've got to think, haven't you? Why was it made smaller? I don't even know if anybody with similar problems to me has contacted them and whether they're even aware of this and or anything. I don't know. It needs. I know I sound like I'm trying to be an ambassador for partially sighted people now and trying to get people to jump on the bandwagon kind of thing. And it's not a campaign because I'm trying to be horrible to Funcom and cause issues or problems, but even if it's people that don't struggle with it, I think the more people that make them aware of this difficulty and the concerns that people have got for people with this difficulty like I have, if they're not aware of it, they're not going to do anything. So I need to try and find a good email that I can get hold of them from. Don't know if it's not necessarily player support, but I need an email for somebody who I can speak to directly and obviously explain who I am and about my eyesight condition, but also the fact that I'm a content creator for their game. And I think, like with anything with a lot of games, I think the more people that say something, the more they have to. I don't mean to sound thingy, but they have to do something about it, because if they refuse to do anything, or they make an excuse that they can't do anything, if it is possible but they just don't want to, then obviously that borders on discrimination, which we don't, none of us, I certainly don't want to go down that road with them, and they certainly don't want to go down that road.
The more voices and they have to listen.
It causes a lot of problems for them and headaches, and it causes a lot of headaches and problems for me as well, and I don't want to be doing that.
The next stage should be age of player choices. Maybe put stuff in the game players actually ask for.
I don't want to be creating issues and seeming like I'm bad-mouthing them or running them down. But I think if you're going to keep your player base happy, you need to implement ways of doing things that keeps everybody happy. Like with this split stack, that's one of the options that they've said in the hotfix. They've confirmed they're reverting that back again. So you will be able to split stacks like you used to be able to. That's going to be an option to do that again. So if they can change that back again, how can they not do something with the UI? I don't know. I know they haven't said yet that they can't, so I'm hoping, fingers, toes and everything else crossed, that there is something that they can do. Be it changing it back, if it means... Because, you know, there's plenty of space either side of that middle square to stretch them out a bit, to be able to still include all the text. Easily. So it's either a case of reverting it, or, like you say, with the combat change, making it an option to revert it to that larger fonts, larger squares, etc. So it's an accessibility feature. So but they need to be made aware of it, and like you say, the more people make them aware, the more really, if they're a caring development company and care about their player base, they need to act on it. But I just need to try and find a reliable email source that I can contact them with. Not just some email where I send an email and it gets lost in translation somewhere or gets ignored. It needs to be somebody that I can have the good, strong contact with. It'd be great if it's Dennis, for example, but you know, one of the main people. But we'll have to watch this space on that one. But other than that, I mean, sorry, rant over. You know, that's my little... And I don't like I say, getting frustrated or complaining about things and being negative, but that just does frustrate me, because as somebody who does have a disability, because that's what it is, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it, because it's something I've got to live with. I hope that, you know, they do realise it and do something about it. So yeah, anyway, rant over. Other than that, the main stuff itself is, I've got to say, impressive. Fatalities are cool, definitely. Combat, since you can now change that option in your menu, I've obviously put it back on. Excuse me. So being able to turn my character like I used to do, and with the lock on at times when I use that, is a lot better than it used to be. Kind of having it like it always was, that's how I remember it, so that's great. The new event itself looks really cool. We did try out a couple of the bosses on Tuesday, and got to say it's pretty fun. The fact that it's interesting that you've got to remove your armour and put on this special war paint to be able to take on these bosses, and it's a limited time event, so you know. But it's definitely, it looks cool. The bazaar looks pretty good so far. Battle pass, I've got to say, is probably one of the better ones that we've had for a long time, if I'm being honest. There isn't 3 armour sets this time, there's only 2, but they still look pretty decent. A lot of it seems very Zingarian related, or Zingaran, however you want to pronounce it. But pretty cool. I like a couple of the tents that are in there. Can't wait to hit level 30 on there to get the Zingarian guard dog, because he just looks so cute. But yeah, all in all, so far, like I say, I'm impressed with a lot of it. Just that little bit of hurt and upset, shall we say, with the UI situation, but overall, game-wise,
Really?
it's
I thought the contrary about the BP.
It's a little bit, yeah, it might not be awesome, but I do think it is a little better than what we previously had.
For content creators and sent it to you via PlayStation.
Oh, brilliant.
People, one of them replaced the guaranteed armor in New River.
Oh. Go on, Dolincia. Yes, I know I am kind of cheating a little bit because I do have God mode on, but the only reason for that really is because we're just testing out stuff and exploring. And obviously I'm chatting to you guys as well, which I want it to be more about the chat and the discussions that we're having, obviously with the gameplay and looking at the new stuff, but I want us to be able to discuss stuff and, you know, just hang out as we all do. With a bit of gameplay in there as well. I don't want it to be too much of us dying and having to run back and treating it like a playthrough, because obviously we're just exploring the new chapter really, aren't we? So that's why I'm doing it a little bit different. But yeah, gotta say, channel wise I am very excited and impressed with the way my channel growth is going at the moment. Just recently ticked over 800, so we're well on that road now to the well on the road to 1,000 now, which is absolutely amazing. Never ever thought I'd be in this position, to be honest with you. Or if I was going to be, that certainly didn't think it would be happening this quick.
Than only being able to harvest sticks by hand is gathering crystals by hand. Only seems like 5 min since 500.
Yeah, it definitely does. I remember way back being stuck at 60 odd subscribers, and like I've said on many occasions, thinking, oh, who's going to want to listen to me? Who's going to want to watch me on YouTube? I sound awful.
On crystals.
And here I am now, over 800 later, and just the support is just absolutely amazing. Just as it is to watch other fellow creators that either have bigger channels that have done it, so it's an inspiration to see how they've got there and how they're going.
I found a list of job openings for Funkem.
And also it's, you know...
We all sound awful to ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. We all think that, don't you? Especially when you record your first ever video and then think, ugh, what do I sound like?
Space for quality control officer.
Quality control officer. Yeah, bet they do. But like I say it every week. I couldn't have got there without you guys, and I will be eternally grateful to you all.
I sound like a 12-year-old.
I'm sure you don't. Well, yeah, going back to what I was saying, it's great to see, you know, taking inspiration and guidance from people like Angar, for example, and advice and tricks on how to do things and ideas. It's...
Wait till you hit 5 then. 10k, just keep rolling, mate. We is here for the long haul.
Oh, that's lovely. Appreciate that very much so.
What's up, party people?
But yes,
little children in cartoons.
Especially when, you know, I get to where Angar is it over 18k? That's just inspiring. Angelo, good evening. Good to see you.
At Villanite you sound robotic to me, lol. At least the puffball mushrooms can still be harvested with a sickle.
That, yeah, not only is it interesting and inspiring to see people who are already way along on that journey, but to see other creators coming along that are on that, you know, start a journey as I am.
For Kathy Ann, she does sound like a 12-year-old.
That'll be mean. I'm sure she doesn't.
Hey lads, did you check on your single player world to see if the new event hub is there?
I haven't actually been onto the single player game yet. With a lot of things with the new update, I've not actually had a chance to jump on there this week because I've been trying to put some video ideas together, checking out some different issues, and obviously preparing for tonight, so I haven't actually had time to go over onto the single player game, but I presume it's there. Why, have you noticed on Xbox it's not there? Is the new event hub not there for you on Xbox? you know, I say it's also interesting to see other people who are on their early stage of the YouTube journey, you know, not far behind where I am, and really encouraging to see that they're getting the support. And
it is not on my single player world. I've gotten every part of this update except the Sacred Hunt.
Getting the likes, etc. and stuff like that, and the comments and everything, and the views on their videos, and being able to support them as well as they support me, because that's how I see YouTube, that if you're all creating content for a certain game, you should be like a big huge family. You know, it's not a competition, is it? We're all there to share our passion and knowledge, and also frustrations when we get them, of our favourite game and ways of doing things and trying to entertain people. We're all in it together, and it is great to hear other people's styles and ways that they do things, and just, you know, the way they deliver their content. It's inspiring and, you know, encouraging, and it's nice to now be somebody who is not quite at 1,000 yet, but on that higher spectrum of the first big milestone, and seeing other people up and coming as well, and trying to encourage them, you know.
I may not be a YouTube content creator, but thanks to this wonderful community, I am really getting back into finishing my writing.
Cool. Oh, that's what I mean. We've got a great community here. Likewise, on a Sunday with Angar stream, we've got a great community there as well. All of you. It's like it was meant to be. Like my community and his community, of us all being part of both, and you guys joining me as well as supporting Angar still, and it's like it was all planned. It was all meant to be, long before I even knew it. It's amazing. It's a very exciting and interesting journey. It has its ups and downs, as everybody will know. It has its low points where you think, you get to bits sometimes where you think, why am I bothering?
Thanks to you, especially Labs. You were the first to encourage me. I will never be able to thank you enough. You gave me confidence.
Oh, I appreciate that.
The turns in funny ways sometimes.
I appreciate that very much. That's very nice of you to say, and that's sorry, let me just compose myself there a minute. No, that's very sweet of you to say, and you know, as I say it every week and every stream, I'm very grateful to each and every one of you for turning up and for subscribing and watching the videos, and you know, watching the vids, leaving the comments, leaving the likes, turning up for the live streams as you do, and chatting like you all do so much to each other, and we're all so polite to each other, and it's just building a community that's just going exactly the way I wanted it to do, and even better than I could have imagined. I just hope other people that are aspiring to do the same thing, that see what's happening here and take, you know, note of it.
Angelo is bluffing about the chaos. Bet he already has the clothes for tomorrow already neatly in Ra. Angelo, you and Odu are chaos.
You know,
Good evening.
I hope other people could take inspiration from it and see it as an encouragement, and I hope I can be encouraging to other people as well, now that I've learnt a lot more myself and that I'm progressing on that journey a little bit further, that I can
Someone
now
actually subbed to my channel the other day and I have no idea why, lol.
Ah. Well, there you go. Evening, Mickey. Good to see you. Hope you're good. Welcome to the madhouse. Get that guy, please, Delancia. Awoken by a mortal. Yeah. For those who haven't noticed, obviously, those that are Delancia fans, as I was just saying at the beginning, the chief, as I like to call her, is back at it now. We've let the
Con, my wife would disagree profusely with you, lol.
We've let the Jabal Sag Warriors take a breather. I've got the legend back at it again. Got our trusty, faithful Delincia with us. But yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're wanting to know all about the new purges and what's involved and how it works, then if you haven't already, do go check out Avdu's channel. Give him a watch, give him a like, leave him some comments. I'm sure he'd appreciate some love. Because when it comes to the purges, he's your man. He knows his stuff. He's the purge master, shall we say.
Kathy, and you may be onto something with Ode and myself. Lol, imagine if we teamed up for a video.
There we go. Should have our key now.
Total Loki / Joker vibes, lol. And he's funny.
Oh dear me. Yeah, just briefly for anyone who's joined in the past few minutes that wasn't here at the very beginning, be very,
one for the mega lols.
very careful with the event at the moment. Not the main event itself, but the were hyenas that spawn at night. Because if you get it, I'll try and show it again if we get a night time while Delincia's with me. While you're out and about in the world, if you get one of the were hyenas to spawn that drop you the fangs that you need, if they aggro to your follower will not, and I must stress that, will not attack them, because essentially, like when we use creative mode to go invisible or the cloak in admin, that enemy is essentially cloaked, so to Delincia he's invisible and he'll keep slapping her and attacking. She won't do anything, and even if I give her the attack command to say there's an enemy there, get it, she will not attack it. This applies to pets as well, so if you've got pets or people guarding your base outside, if you play on an official server or a community server where there are other players, be mindful about leaving them outside, because even if somebody runs past your base, if they get a were hyena to spawn on them at night but they manage to run away and it doesn't attack them, it could aggro onto their people, and if they're not online it's just going to stand there and keep killing them all one by one until it can't kill anymore.
And the mega lols will come when I get a PS5 and just run naked through the background on lab stream, lol. At Angelo Bambo, I just ran to the event hub, everything is there for me.
What was that about, running in the background of my stream? Although you guys don't have to worry that I'm watching, because you wouldn't see anything because I have nudity turned off. Because if I have full nudity on YouTube,
face with crossed out eyes, face with crossed out eyes, face with crossed out
YouTube
eyes.
wouldn't like it. And I don't want to get demonetized or in trouble with YouTube for having nudity showing. Unless of course this was a channel that was different and I had that all set and declared that as the channel that we show that type of thing. So you wouldn't see anything even if you did, so you wouldn't have to worry on that scale. Although it would be kind of funny to see that.
I have it turned off myself for the gremlin.
Yeah. So yeah, just be very mindful with those were hyenas. They are aware of it, Funcom apparently.
Face with tongue, winking face with tongue.
So yeah, just be very careful.
A chemistry flask covering his modesty. Rub it in, Kevin.
That's a good one. Chemistry flag covering his modesty. I like it.
Hi everyone.
Hello Alan, good to see you. Welcome on in. Hope you're good. Round 2 of our exploration of the
Waving hand.
the new Chapter 4
Modesty.
content.
What's that?
Modesty goes with integrity, doesn't it? Or, oh, is that honesty? Honesty and integrity. Yeah, wrong one. Never mind.
Got my first purge with fun. Did you speak about the battle pass challenges?
No, we haven't actually got onto those just as yet. But yeah, there's
Not with Angelo.
quite a
Who
bit
has?
to do with those, with the battle pass challenges and how it seems to work. Apparently in the hotfix as well, in the patch notes for that, they have mentioned
Nazis are not good bedfellows. Like Shane.
they
My
have
wife
mentioned
will
that they
tell you I have no
realised
shame, lol.
when they released the
Annihilator.
details for that they didn't really explain how the new challenges work very well, so they've kind of gone into a bit more detail. So we'll have to look into that one. Nothing in the hotfix at all about the UI, but we were talking about that earlier, so I'm not going to obviously go into that one again now. If you missed it, you could always rewind the stream back a little bit and have a listen to that one. It was about 10 minutes ago. Me just having a little rant about everything, which I don't do very often.
It is a learning curve.
Right.
I'm already a third of the way through this battle pass with minimum play time. I did it this morning, got a few done just by doing regular housekeeping. Even for Funkin.
Yes, that is quite right. That is actually a feature with it. Although you've now got the... That's not the right one. Where are we? Even though you've now got 3 weekly challenges here that you've got to complete, which are like kill so many world bosses, kill so many demon creatures, etc. Or giant creatures, which are things like spiders, things like that. Anything that you do in game, so that's absolutely anything from crafting items,
Done 6 purges and got sweet FA.
whether you're crafting something, or whether, say, if you're crafting armor or crafting weapons, or just making items, or you're out harvesting iron or trees or anything like that, or killing enemies, anything that gave you XP or gives you XP in game. So yeah, like you say, just normal housekeeping, that will also equate to battle pass
I am building my purge base ode.
XP. So anything you do, it's not just the battle pass items that will give you battle pass XP now. The challenges, rather, you can do anything in game, so fighting, crafting, building, anything you do will give you ordinary XP and count towards your battle pass XP. But the one thing with the 3 challenges is when you complete those,
I finally got some inspiration for that.
I think it's something like the equivalent to, with the amount of XP it will give you for completing all 3 of those, is something like the equivalent to 2.5 battle pass levels, because they've realised that people need to be able to level up a lot quicker, level the battle pass up a lot quicker, and
Angelo Bambo just finished building a prototype, calling it the Agincourt build.
they don't want, obviously, you stop following. Something else that was on the...
I'm intrigued.
Anybody else that uses the radio wheel that's on console, have you noticed when you hover over something there is no UI information that pops up in the middle of your wheel? I did just see on some patch notes that, like I say, Annabella was looking at just before my stream. They realised that's missing, and that is a bug apparently. That shouldn't be missing. So in this hotfix you will see information on your radio wheel again for whatever it is that you're looking at. So
Yes,
that's
I've
an
noticed. They'll
an
have him
interesting
back
one.
soon.
So that will be coming back. But with regards to this, no idea yet what's happening. So we're going to have to see on that one. But I don't want to spend the whole stream, you know, just ranting about that. Just wanted to test something out with this a minute. Yep, so we can knock her off her feet.
Hopefully they add the event hub to my single player world as well.
Have you reported that? Have you actually reported it to them as well, that it's not showing up on your single player world?
I mentioned that lack of info earlier. Nice to know I'll get the info back.
Yeah, apparently we will by the sound of it.
I have.
Am I actually doing any damage to her? I seem to be doing very little damage to her, and I've got strength boost. Oh yeah, I am. There we go. It's because I'm not geared up on my full strength build, because I've got Delencia spec to the plus 20 and everything. So because she's got the plus 20. Oh, I didn't mean to be pressing on them.
I was wondering, lads. Her bar isn't really moving.
Yeah, it's because I'm spec more into a follower build. I've just realised I haven't got anything in strength hardly. So normally by now I would have absolutely destroyed her if I was on my regular combat bar.
You needed the help of Crom. He won't be happy. Oops.
I'm just going to let her keep chopping
Face
at
with
me.
hand over mouth, face with hand over mouth.
Just see. So I'm doing it already. Bear with me, chat. Not even geared into agility, but let's just see what these do to her. Oh, there you go. Now obviously I'd be doing a lot more damage if I was spec'd into agility. So if you've got a set of these, look at the stagger. And that's all just from doing my R1 attacks. So we'll let her do her fancy little combo.
Ilana, they do have hard copies of your Magnus Opus.
I'm just purely using on the controller there. I'm just purely
Still, you are
using
doing very little.
the yeah, it's because I'm not geared into agility, or I'm not wearing agility armor. But I'm just showing for the example of the stagger, for example. Look how you can keep her staggered. So if you've got plenty of agility and you've got the stamina to keep you going, look how you can just keep her staggered constantly. I'll have to come back anyway on the agility build. Look how she just can't do anything. So now essentially there I could cloak, she'll reset, but I could go and get Delencia. I could just keep staggering her like that. And Delencia would just go ham at her. There we go. So if you want good stagger, they'll take you a lot of stamina to use them, but at least you'll be able to do it. And yeah, okayish amount of scraps I suppose, but you know, like I say, I'm not wearing any agility armor, and I'm not even spec'd into agility. I'm not even spec'd into strength because I'm on a follower booster build, I call it, to give Delencia the plus 20 and everything, because I didn't want her dying. So I'll have to look at that one.
I have my manuscripts stored on a cloud. I do have the paperback for BK1 and will get BK2 when ready.
Yeah, speaking of books, believe Gem's enjoying them very much so. Cassian gets herself ready for bed on a night, reading them, and goes to settle down to go to sleep, but just can't put it down. As it's very interesting, very detailed. She's enjoying it.
On Amazon.
So you've done a great job with it. So well done. Missed.
DK1 is available in paperbook and ebook. That is awesome news, lads.
Yeah, she was really enjoying it. You've done really well with it. You should be proud of yourself. Done a really good job with it. Keep up the great work.
Think my eldest might like it. Her birthday next month. BK2 was pulled as I had screwed up, and need to formatting it like crazy.
Oh, blooming heck. Oh, and got there. Dragon in here. Got Valencia to go and deal with him. We'll clean up the spooders, as Annabella calls them, out here. Look at that. Takes nothing at all for Valencia, that. No work whatsoever. No work whatsoever for Valencia, that. Easy peasy.
My daughter is 27 this year, lol. I know I sound young. Poor Robert, lol.
I'm going to take the rest of those.
Just be about safe then.
Just take those. I've only got a couple of... oh yeah. That is here. Didn't think it was for a minute. I have the Khan. Okay, I suppose. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah.
Sorry, Kathy Ann couldn't resist.
I haven't bought a pick with me, so I'm not going to bother cutting that guy out, but we all know he's in there, you can cut him out now at least. The Yeti that's at the end. In there. Well, yeah, just a reminder if anybody wasn't here or in case you forgot from Tuesday, sword I'm using right now is a sword of Crom and it is usable by a player again. Because as you can see, hardly gains any stamina to what it used to do before.
Eye of the Khan is a lot better than a handcrafted bow at least.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, sword of Crom, you can
I'm
use it
slow today. I just got to that.
as a player.
Person face booming.
The only downside to it, is that it has 450 durability, I think it is. But if you put the... Oh, what weapon fitting have I done now?
Hello,
the...
bit late, so I see you started without me beaming face with smiling eyes.
Major Dan, hello, good to see you.
At Kevin Myers Strength Balfour. Hi, Major.
Yeah, put the durability kit, I think it is, on it, which has obviously doubled its durability, so it's now 900 durability instead of 450. So unless you put a durability kit on it, it's only going to have about 450 durability on it. but you can also give it to a friend as well, so a follower or thrall, whatever you want to call them, and they will actually do damage with it as well now. Whereas before the thralls, or friends as we like to call them, couldn't do any damage with Sword of Crom, but they now can. Come on, Delincia, go get that guy. You got a big hammer, dude? Yeah, I got a big hammer too. Bang! How do you like that? She's absolutely tearing through him, look at that.
God, take you.
All she's gone is her buff, so it's the pork, the salted pork, and then a elixir of might.
Thralls will melt enemies with the Sword of Crom. Can confirm.
But yeah, look at her. I'm not even. All I've done is 2 hits with the hammer,
God, take you.
and she's taken him out. All I did was 2 heavy attacks with the hammer.
Hi, Major.
How quick was that? So he's actually dropped that weapon this time. Now that weapon
I'm sure the dirty joke there, but I'm tired.
was also one of the ones that I showed a little while back not to give to your followers as well, because they hardly did any damage with that as well. So that's what I'm going to have to test again to see whether that has secretly changed or
Hi,
not.
everyone. Oh, my youngest is turning 39 this year, so I can empathize.
But yeah,
Oh, I see you are playing on PS5.
all
Don't
seems
you have
this.
issues with inventory management? I literally cannot play the game, as I cannot swap items.
I don't know so much about having inventory issues.
39, nearly as old as me.
And yes, to answer your question, I am on PS5. You can. There is an option at the top, I believe, which
My
obviously
youngest is 17.
struggling to see, unfortunately,
Type
that you
of
can
ammo.
actually change to no sort, is it, or something similar to that, so that it doesn't move all your items around. But I haven't been having an issue where. I know what you mean about manoeuvring things around. I think you need to change the box at the top, or it's one of those little circles. You change that so that it doesn't, because you can have it as, I think it's sort alphabetically or sort by like heaviest first. You
My
can't.
oldest is turning 15 and my youngest
There
is
isn't like a
turning
custom option anymore. But I think if you change it to the option that stops it sorting everything for you, that may sort it. But I've not noticed anything other than that, to be honest. Ooh, that's a nice fine soul spell.
7.
Yep.
My oldest is 33.
Don't have any more
My
keys.
youngest is 9. My boys are in their 40s. I play this game with one of them. Granny Gamer here, lol.
So yeah, that is the War Makers. Of course, you've got your 2 recipes here as normal. More chests, but I don't have any keys with me, so never mind. But that still looks pretty much the same. And of course, Delincia is still hitting like an
That will
absolute.
not help with my oak face with tears of joy.
She's still hitting like an absolute truck as always. But yeah, with regards to it being a bug, I'm not entirely sure with the UI with that. But Delincia is of course wearing, well, all of my followers are still wearing their regular setup that they've always had.
Mikai, I take it you're not fond of sleeping. At Mikai Monday bloody hell, that's a gap and a half.
But yeah, she's still got same momentum, same armour, still hits like an absolute truck. Yes, not a guaranteed spawn like a Sumerian Berserker, but give me a Delincia any day. Can roll the map with her. And if you prefer War Party, you've got 2 of them.
I am so glad someone else asked.
Yeah, Delincia or a
They're
Sumerian
another two in the
Berserker, you
middle,
can't go
lol.
wrong. They both still have the Berserker still has the highest melee damage modifier. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but the Sumerian Berserker has the highest, and then Delincia is not far behind. There's not a huge difference in it, and I think health-wise, when they spawn, or when you get them, off the wheel of friendship, or from the job centre, as Audi likes to call it. There's only about 200 or 300 HP difference. That Delancey only has about 200 or 300-ish HP base health, more than a berserker.
Intermittent TV reception then.
But downside to Delancey is she isn't a guaranteed spawn. Plus side to a berserker, they're guaranteed. Plus side to a berserker again, their damage modifier is slightly better, but their weakness is their health. Base health is about 200 or 300 HP less than Delancey.
Is it worth running 20 in agility now?
Yeah, I would say so. What I tend to go with if I was running agility is the rolling thrust still works, but it doesn't give you the same buffs. Obviously, you don't get everything like you did before, but you do still get a little bit of benefit from it.
Say poor internet reception node.
But if you're not bothered about rolling thrust just because of that little basic buff that it gives you, then obviously go with the double jump so that you can do an extra jump in mid-air. I tend to go with precision strikes as well. For the first one, I tend to go with the arrows and thrown weapons. Yeah, it's okay, but if you're using a katana especially, or even a two-handed agility sword, then yeah, precision strikes, or precise strikes I think it is. It's definitely worth having a look at. I do have an agility build that I usually use. I'm not geared into that at the moment, but I do have an agility build that I have been using for the past few chapters, and although it's in light armour, which is the what's it called, the ranger armour that you unlock for completing the dungeon delver, I keep wanting to say quest line, but journey step I should say. It's only a light armour even though it comes up as medium.
Career criminal.
It's pretty decent because you can obviously, you know, manoeuvre really quick and keep yourself out of danger as much as you can. And pretty much with the katana that I'm using, Musashi's Black Blade, you pretty much just murder everything anyway. So it can make you a very agile build.
Mikey, a wife told him she's an nymph. He thought she meant a fairy. She did not lol.
Right, let me just quickly go like here. Just take Delancey back home so that she's safe a minute. And yeah, I did mention right at the beginning of the stream, I know we did say we were going to have a look at some of the items you get from the new vendor. Well, I say new vendor, it's the limited time of vendor, isn't it, at the if you can get that to spawn. Obviously, unfortunately, if it's not working on single player, that's not great, but one of the items you get is this, which I was sat on at the very beginning of the stream, which is the Throne of Jabal Sag.
That's my last dirty joke. For this stream anyway.
You've had your quota now, have you? That's the last one. Yeah, good to know. Oh dear.
Blame Angar and his math from today. At Mikai Mundi, mind you, there is exactly 6 years in between all my wife's siblings.
But yeah, this is the Throne of Jabal Sag that you can get. I haven't put any of the other items out, I just wanted to start a little bit differently. And also, I did mention at the beginning of the stream, if you haven't seen Angar's latest beginner's guide, which he did bring out today, he actually went through all these different items and what you can get and showed them off, excuse me, and told you the price of how many gnarled fangs they are. So I thought, rather than doing it in this stream as well, and you know, I don't want to, as the quote goes, rain on somebody else's parade, because I'm that type of person.
That explains a lot.
I would just say, rather than me covering it as well, at the moment, there's nothing to say I won't look at them in the future, but for the moment, if you want to see what each of the items are in detail and know how many fangs they are, then go check out his latest beginner's guide.
Time
It came
to grab
out.
the gremlin from the bus. I'll be back. Going to have to say farewell. Would love to stay, but this time's lot is a bit awkward for me. I'll catch up with the rest later.
Major
See you
Dan, no worries, thank you for popping in. Great to see you as always. Yeah. Sorry, just having a drink of my
Bye,
juicing on.
Major. Take care.
Yes, if you want to see
Bye,
that,
Major.
check out his latest beginner's guide, where he goes through them all in detail and he'll tell you how many gnarled fangs each item is as well.
See you shortly, Angelo. At Major Dan saluting face.
But, well, Delincia's back there now, and I'm facing the wrong way again. As we started looking at on Tuesday, part of the new features, as we know by now, are the fatalities. And on Tuesday we got some with the one-handed axe and the sword of Crom. But what I've done today is I've got... What have we got? I've got a two-handed axe on me. Got a spear and also the katana. So what I thought we'd do today is we'll have a look at these three and kind of see if we can get some fatalities with them and just show off what they look like in case you haven't seen those yet. Again,
Monday, hope I didn't cause offense. I apologize if I did.
gore warning, shall we call it. If you're squeamish or you don't like decapitation or all that type of stuff, then look away, because I'll be honest,
No offense, Ode.
just like some of the others, they are quite brutal, so just be prepared, is what I'll say. Be warned, because they are quite brutal. But
Stop!
if you... Why? Why do you want me to stop? No, I ain't gonna stop. Just try and stop me. Yeah, boys.
Brutal equals fun.
Oh. Why did it sound like one of them was in
Wait!
Whimper in terror, fool!
Are you gonna go
I
into...
was born before the snowflakes.
Come on. No. Even though I'm geared into strength, I still did them too much damage. I know it is only a percentage chance,
They are
so...
pretty tame.
Let's try it with this guy. Are you gonna... Come on. Come on, I'm trying to show something off here, dude. Can you just go drunk for me? There we go. Ready? Bang! There's no way he's getting back up again. That is brutal. So that is a katana. If you missed that one,
Woo.
wind back about 10 seconds and watch it again.
Nice.
It's brutal. But I've got to say, I don't think it's as brutal as the spear one. So that is with the katana.
Oh, love it.
Two-handed axe now. Of course, your normal attacks with R1 if you're on console. R2. So we'll try and get one with this as well now. Hello. Oh. Oh, look at that. Are we going to get it in time? Oh, just. There ain't no way you're getting back up from that.
He will brush himself up, pull himself together and be ready for round 2. I think you scared him. He just went to pieces.
Yeah, he literally did, didn't he? He took one look and thought, nah, I'm out.
Splitting headache.
Yeah, he'll definitely have one of them. Oh, hello. You can do an overhead shot, can you? But yeah, the buff you get now, I'm probably doing a ridiculous amount of damage now, even though I'm not, again, not spec'd into my strength build.
Tis but a scratch face with tears of joy.
Yeah, it's just a scratch, exactly. No, Pop, I've nothing better. Sorry. That was a terrible impression, I know, but I just couldn't resist.
That
Just
only happens in Mortal Kombat. Put a drill through the guy's face, and he just brushes it off. Rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling
I'm
on
sorry
the
for
floor,
that terrible impersonation of that NPC then, but just reminds me of that really croaky voice like a witch or something. Have you nothing better, Pop? I was doing it earlier on today as well. For Crom, yeah. Okay. Not know why you're saying for Crom when you're Dogs of the Desert, but okay. Oh, I should have gone spear on spear with that guy. Anyway, so that is the two-handed axe. And the next one, the mighty spear. The pokey stick. Right, let's find another volunteer. Any willing volunteers? Hello? Would you like to volunteer to sacrifice yourself for a test? Oh, she just died. Oh, hello. Hello. No, just killing them all now. Because I've got that extra fatal, the extra buff. Which if I go to my stat sheet, for anybody who doesn't know how it works, so you can see there on the left. You'll get your buff from your, obviously your pork or your potion or agility buffs, whatever you're using. Plus it'll show on there what you're getting from the fatalities. So if you're already...
Come on, lads. Pop those implants.
Oh, hello. Oh, no.
Are you running normal stamina consumption or reduced one?
I think stamina reduction on the server fee. I think I've got it lowered ever so slightly. But it might actually even be set to the same as official. But I am using Champion's Armour, which obviously gives you so much stamina on each piece as well. Oh, and for those who didn't know, in case anybody wasn't here on Tuesday, as I say, this is full Champion's Armour. And if you pop the Champion's Armour in the Dyer's Bench now, which has changed, you can actually now dye the Champion's Armour, hence why it's white like it is. Because before Chapter 4 you could not dye the Champion's Armour. It wouldn't allow you to dye it for some reason. It's one of the only armours that I know of that you couldn't dye, but you can now dye it. So if you like your different armour colours, you can now do it to the Champion's Armour. Yeah, we're just too strong there. Hey, ooh, where'd you come from? Ah. Alright. Let's make this a bit more interesting. Let's pop up here. Where am I going? Right about there. These will have a little bit more HP. So it looks like it at the moment, normal fighter wise, certainly as it will still stand. Your top choice obviously is still your Sumerian Berserker. And in sort of joint top place, I like to say, is obviously Delincia. Some people are saying the Volcano Thralls are now pretty good. Like if you can get Spinus the Marauder, for example. He's pretty decent on his damage apparently, however, he's very squishy. So, depends whether you want to spend all that time leveling him up. Because he will probably die very easily. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Can I poke you? You're not going to do it, are you? Oh, yes he is.
You've shown them the prison.
Do you know the way she did that animation there, the way she pinned him to the floor and then pulled the spear out and then stood it on the floor? It reminded me of one of those warriors from have you ever seen the Avengers movies? Is it the what they called? Can't remember the tribe now, but they all used like the spears, didn't they? No, to answer your question, I haven't shown them the prison yet. No. But yeah, so that is the spear. Ignore it flying in midair when I'm flying. So yeah, pretty brutal. Who are you talking to, dude? Nobody there. I think he's talking to himself in the afterlife, trying to find out what happened. He got killed by a bleeding landsman and couldn't figure it out. Now, yes, I am in creative again a minute.
One. Sorry, in back you may continue. My dogs were being pains. He can join the crazy crew.
Join the crazy crew, yeah. So it looks like we still get the same spawns up here as normal, just as before. Your bearer, and then on there, and then this spot, I believe it's here.
Is talking to Crom.
Talking to Crom, yeah, it probably is.
Have you tried with the punching daggers?
No. But yeah, where this young lady sits here, sometimes that can be Delincia.
Someone said that the tribe were tanking like hell.
Are you gonna do it or not? No. Never mind.
I love the fact she was about to sit down mid-fight.
Yeah. There's a neat little trick. If you're ever trying to make a video and you're about to start, make it look like you're in combat, quickly go into creative and then they'll reset. Yeah, not too sure with that one. Might have to try some different ones. Just wanted to do a quick fly around here. Thought I heard somebody then walking around. If anybody remembers ever seen Angar's video, I can't remember the exact video it was, but he was doing a walk around here one time. He said about where Delincia can spawn. I remember he walked down here and he looked up that ramp, and as he said, she can be up there sometimes. I remember she kept walking down that ramp. Oh, it was so funny. It was just as if it was planned. So if we carry on around here, yeah, this is the right spot, I think. We've always got somebody stood there, and we've got this weird looking tree. If you come through, have I got the right bit? Sure, it's usually, oops, where are we going? Oh yeah, they are there, they're just hidden in all the brush. This is the spot where Leoneely can spawn. So if you're after a Leoneely, now I don't know if because I'm in creative that's why it's not classing as combat, which is why the fatality's not triggering. Possibly. I mean, it is only a percentage chance, so... No. But yeah.
You do seem to be taking a lot of damage, more than usual.
Yeah. I've noticed that.
Silencia can spawn in 4 locations in this village.
Yep. That is correct, she certainly can. Yeah, now I'm in sorry, it's not the microphone then. Not creative, I'm in God mode, so that's why I'm not dying. But you can see why people say, if you're going to perform a fatality, be very careful where you do them, because as soon as you come out of that animation, if you're mid-fatality and somebody hits you, you will still take damage, so you'll have to be very, very careful. But yeah, she does have, as you say, she does have a few locations where she can spawn here. She can also spawn, I don't know if I've got it marked on my map yet, yes I have, I think.
Better chance to get her at Stargazers.
Yep.
A swarm of murderous grumps.
You've
Not
also
a minute of
got...
a purge. That nearly ended badly low.
Oh gosh. You've got a chance for her to be here. Which, by the looks of it, Sumerian 3 and this guy, so no, she's not here this time. But yes, that is a location where she can spawn. So do keep an eye out for that one. Up at Mounds of the Dead, if you're up that way. Of course, as Audu has mentioned in recent videos as well, you've still got your Freya at Freya's Hovel. Where is it? There we go. Freya's Hovel, Leon at Leon's Watch, Dina Master Huntress at the base of the dam, more or less. Well, the aqueduct, isn't it? 3 guaranteed spawns there, 2 archers and a fighter. And of course, Dina and Freya are both strength-based archers, so if you're after a couple of decent strength-based archers, who surprisingly, if you take the bow off them and you give them a momentum, for example, they actually hit pretty well with
My
it.
new base is around there.
Ah, very nice. Let me just find... Where is it? Where did I do it now? I'll put a marker on here. Just bear with me, chat. I'm trying to remember where I've done this little base. No, well, I say little base, it's not really a base. Where have I done it?
Stargazer's loot box is really good too.
Right, that's good to know. I'll call it a dungeon, not a prison. That's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, so anybody that does play on my server, if you haven't found this yet already, then you're more than welcome to come up here in the Highlands, and there is a teleporter that'll bring you here. It's named as the prison, which is this lost dungeon set here. If I show you on the map where I am, we're just here in the Highlands, so we're kind of not far from the Circle of Swords in that area, and the 3 towers, the ward towers, so we're just below them. But yeah, this is the Lost Dungeon set, which is the main item in the bazaar at the moment, and it's kind of perfect that it's dull and raining at the minute while we've come here to show off this set. So this is the Lost Dungeon expansion. Little build I was working on for a few hours yesterday. Still needs bits adding to it yet for decoration, but this will give you the main kind of scheme or image of where I'm going with it, if you will. So this is like your what would be recreation exercise area, but of course it's still all closed in and sealed. If it was going to be a prison cells down the side.
Up north. I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Prison cells, we've got another entrance here, but we'll just keep this one closed at the front.
Build an arena for players.
And we've got that passageway there, which also leads to the side. I'll show you from the other way, because there's a couple of interesting parts down there. So again, if you come in from that staircase, you can come through this way, right to this other side. For anyone who wants to know, it's just the green wall torch that I'm using for the torch effect, and this is all built out of the Lost Dungeon set. So again, that was the staircase we just looked at from that side. So if we go down here, we've got the execution chamber, shall we say. So if you get put in here, it's the death penalty, basically. So pretty grim. But the whole base of this build, and reason why I built it on this river where I have, which took a lot of work getting this balanced up right, and you'll see why in a moment. But if we go down here, we have a natural flowing river that was here in the first place, of course. Just put some foundations in here. And you get these sewer pipes with it as well that you can use, all individual pieces. So that's where the river's coming down from. So if I just show you on the map, it's this river that we're using. So we can't get out that way. However,
Sweet idea.
if we go back this way, and then we go through this other pipe, realise it's dark, but obviously that's the idea with a dank sewer, shall we say. And if I just jump in creative mode so I don't fall, but then turn around,
nice.
You can just see it when the lightning happens. Obviously it's not as easy. I don't want to convert it to daytime, because if there's anybody else, anybody else playing that's trying to do the event, I don't want to spoil them getting their were hyena. But you can just make out the waterfall there. So all I essentially did, where the river is a little bit wider each side, I've just built the foundations down either side to hide a lot of it. So it's created like a channel to make it look as if the water's just coming out of that pipe. And then you've got the main pen just up on the top. So that is open, as I say, to anybody that plays on the server to feel free to come and have a wander through and have a look around up near the ward towers. So that's my recent sort of play around, if you will, with the build set that I've had a look at. And then just for anybody that's interested, that is that set there.
Creative.
Yep, creative mode. So that is the Lost Dungeon expansion. That's the big feature set that's in at the moment. So if anybody hasn't got it yet or was considering it, that's just one of probably many ideas you could do with it.
Tell me where I can get the assassin's armor.
Assassin's armor.
Really neat.
Just trying to think if it's a base game, or if it's not base game, it's one of the DLCs, isn't it? Anybody else in chat that may know?
DLC.
Do we know which? Thank you. Do we know which DLC it is? I can't just remember off the top of my head which one. Yeah, I've pretty much got most of these DLCs now. I think there's only Riddle of Steel, which is just like a weapon one. Pretty much is the only one I don't have as yet. But I believe it's one of the DLCs, yeah.
Blood, Man and Sand.
Oh, there we go. Blood and Sands. Yep. So the Blood and
Yellow
Sands,
Sand Pack DLC.
Blood and Sands
This
DLC.
game by the look. Right, I've got to jump off now. Good night all. Blood and Sand.
No worries, Mickey. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. So yeah, the Blood and Sands DLC. If you purchase that one,
Bye, Mickey.
you'll get the Assassin's Armour, which, if you don't know what it looks like, if you haven't seen Angar's
Okay, thank you.
Let's Play, well, his Let's Play stream series that he's doing on the Isle of Sipta, I think he either was or is using the
Bloodletter knowledge.
he's using the Assassin Armour at the moment for his character on there. So if you don't know what it looks like, if you check out his stream on Sunday, 8 PM UK time, that'll give you an idea of what the Assassin's Armour looks like. It's pretty cool actually, got to be honest. So,
Where he seen it?
yeah, probably in the pub again. You mean Angar, where is he? He's probably in the pub again. Bet him and Mark are it.
Server open for others. It
Yes.
does well.
Yes, this server is open to anybody on PS4 or PS5. You're more than welcome to join. It's a PvE server. So we just have like crafting and gathering sort of increased slightly. So harvesting is ×2. Crafting cost is lowered a little bit, and combat and everything else is pretty much the same as vanilla, if you want to call it that, but we just have those other features slightly increased. We do have a welcome centre with some bits and pieces that you can collect to help you get started. We do also have what I call an admin shop where people can buy things from me, so certain weapons
I will be
or
back on in a few days.
things that they might like. And also we have a couple of lecterns, I think they're called, which came from the Isle of Sipta, which just have some simple server rules on them that we just ask people to follow if they want to play on here, just to keep it fair for everybody. But yeah, you just walk up to this and that'll just show you the server rules on there. We just ask people to follow those just to make it fair for everybody. And then the flag system that we have, I need to do a little video on this actually, because a lot of people don't know what it means. But when we ask people about displaying a flag, all it basically means is
What is the server name?
taking either a radium gem wall torch or a radium gem standing torch, and each month we choose a different dye colour, which will be in the welcome message to the server every time you spawn in. So it'll say monthly flag colour and it'll tell you the colour for the month, and if you don't have that dye, it will be here at the welcome centre as well, so you can grab one of them from there. And the welcome centre is right here on New River, just next to the Sentinels. And the server, if I just pause my menu there a minute, that's the details at the bottom middle of the screen there. It's the Conan's Chosen slightly boosted beginner friendly, like I say, PvE, so there's no PvP as such, anything like that. But we do have a PlayStation message group as well that anybody who plays on the server can get invited to, because I do post in there if I'm going to be like pausing the daytime or anything, or any changes that are happening, or if the server needs to be taken down for anything, or any future events that we may run. I'll be posting it in there, so people don't have to join it, it's not mandatory, but if they want to do, they can do. And then if they've got any questions as they're playing, there are a bunch of people in there who are quite helpful and help each other out, giving advice and tips, kind of like we do in the stream here. So you'd be more than welcome to pop on, and like I say, all we ask is that when people join, they visit the welcome centre here, just read the rules first and just follow those, and then help themselves to some armour and weapons and tools and bits and pieces to get them going. We just ask, like with the rules, that people don't build too close to somebody else, and that you don't build on a POI where there's a book or a scroll that somebody needs to get to, or too close to one of the world boss spawns, so that when it gets killed it doesn't respawn. Blimey, the Sentinels are actually showing. That's a first. but you're pretty much free to do, other than just following a couple of server rules, pretty much free to do exactly what you want. And obviously you can message me as well if you want to ask anything. But by all means, like I say, it's open to PlayStation 4 and 5. Do feel free to pop on, you'd be more than welcome. There are people around here if you need help with a dungeon or help with anything, I'm sure people would help you out. So that is our little welcome centre.
Your base and you will find my tent base.
Ah, right, okie dokie. Yeah, I've kind of built that new base at the minute that is the big Numidian castle that I've kind of built that's up near the unnamed city. That's just a temporary one. Well, I say temporary. Just built for this playthrough and everything that we're doing at the moment, because I do actually still have our...
Name?
The original base that was built by another player. We still have one of our admins that was up there.
Conan's Chosen.
Yep, Conan's Chosen, that's the one. I'll pause my screen again for a second so you can see it there. Just down at the bottom of the options menu there, Conan's Chosen beginner friendly.
I'm trying to find somewhere I can build.
Yeah, that's not a problem. You're more than fine with that. If you've got a little starter base somewhere till you find your actual main base spot, you're perfectly fine. Bear Island. yeah. So all I've done is the night times are just set a little bit longer than how we used to have them before. I used to have it sped up the night time, but I've lowered it a little bit just so it gives people more time to essentially get attacked by the were hyenas for the event while that's on. And if anybody hasn't found it that does play on here yet, if you come a bit further along the river, lots of people have seen this before and you've possibly seen my little video, but you'll come across this pyramid style, I call it because it's the pyramid set that I used to build this. You'll come across this spa guarded by 2 relic hunters. Do feel free to, I've showed this off before, but do feel free to pop in and have a nosy around, and yes, you can swim in the pool if you want to, you are allowed. But this is still here and available for people to check out, which is mainly the pyramid set with the storm glass roof, and then the Aquilonian, is that? No, Argosian, just for the pool trim. Took a little while to get that pool right, but yeah. Do feel free to yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, do feel free to check that out if you're on here. Just trying to think if there's anything else that we haven't checked yet. Oh, that was the other thing. I've just remembered, if anybody hasn't been to Sepamaru yet, a couple of things different. Well, it's not just Sepamaru, but anywhere around the map now. The priest spawns have been changed slightly. So that if you're looking for a set priest now, you can still get them in... Sorry, I just turned around in a complete full circle then. If you're still looking for the set priest in Sepamaru, you can still get 2 here.
This is why Conan is much better than Ark. The buildings look awesome.
So this little shrine, you've still got your 2 set priests here. That is still the same. But if you come to the main set altar, or shrine if you want to call it that, in the centre, where there were 3 set priests here before now, there are now 2 fighters or archers, and this is the only spot here. But this can be any of them, so the set priest, the set high priest, and the named ones can spawn here, and also up there. And there is also still the single priest spawn in the middle of the marketplace as well, so you can still get them. Pretty much everything else is still the same. Guaranteed blacksmiths here, guaranteed armourer here, Not named, obviously, you'll have to farm these spots, but to get named people, but that will always be an armourer. And again, if I jump down here, 2 armourers here once again, and they can be any of the tiers up to named again.
What
This
about Dirk priests?
Deketo, I'm not too sure about that. I presume where they used to spawn for Deketo, if that was in the jungle, they will still be spawned in that same spot, like with the Jabal Sag priests as well.
Ooh, shiny.
But I want to say guaranteed carpenters here, but these actually share a spawn with the driver, I believe the profession is, which is essentially a taskmaster that will be wearing similar stuff to these guys, but be a lot taller, so you'll be easily able to spot them, so you have a chance of getting them there as well. Of course, the guaranteed cook on the island, and you have your chance of getting your lone fisherman. Entertainer here, cook there as usual. I may do an updated walk around Sepamura again for chapter 4, but a lot of it's pretty much the same. Unless if you come to the side of Conan's bar here, you'll now find this guy.
His signs are nigh. Hearken to the whisper at the back of the skull, where reptiles swim in the primal soup. A vague memory rises. A name, an ancient god of darkness and primordial fear, to whom once both men and beasts bowed, and whose children still lurk in the dark corners of the world. Read his name, raggedy and red, Jebel Sag. Read his name scribed upon the flesh of prey, Jebel Sag. Have you seen his signs? In the long ago, the Prince of Beasts ruled all animals.
That walked past and looked at the herald like WTF.
Yeah.
He once ruled where newer gods now reign. He will reign again when the other gods fall. His return is nigh.
Does he have out to do with triggering the hunt?
Ready for the sacrament of the hunt. The faith.
No, by the look at this guy doesn't.
Look north of the nameless city.
He's just somebody who.
Shattered Springs, southwest of the den.
So he's southwest of the den, so he's kind of.
Hunter or hunted, you are blessed by Jabal Sag.
By the sound of it, he's just like a bit of a clue giver. So he's kind of hinting. Obviously, southwest of the den, so he's hinting to where that is. So he's just like a hinter. By the sound of it. Now, I don't know if I'll have one.
I'm really struggling.
I don't know if I'll have one in my tavern. I think I've just gone to the right bit. But the person you need, well, if you're after the werebear pet, who is the big boss that you fight at the very end that you can also have as a pet, you need to keep an eye on your tavern. I don't know if he's here or not. Everybody's only just spawning in, so I don't think he is. But if you... Oh, yes, he is. There he is. Don't ask me to pronounce his name. I heard Angar pronounce it earlier, but I've already forgotten. But if you speak to this guy... I won't do it all now because I don't want to spoil it for people, but you can... There's some dialogue with him, and he'll also teach you the different lure that you can get to be able to then go and kill the big boss again to get that creature as a pet.
Owls on the wind, blood on the tongue.
But you'll need to see if he's spawned in your tavern for that bit. However, if you're starting the whole thing before you even get him to spawn, and of course this NPC is now blocking my door, so I can't get out. Obviously your main thing to trigger the whole, if you're trying to actually start the whole thing off, has anybody noticed when they speak to this NPC that they can't interact with her? Have you tried to speak to her and she won't allow you to speak? Like when you click square on her or interact, is she not speaking with you? Because I think what it needs to be, if you come up here and you're trying to interact with her and she won't speak, you need to get attacked by at least one were hyena at night, pick up the fangs on the sacral that it drops, open that up, and that'll give you some bits and pieces and a map, which will obviously direct you to this location. Then if you then come here,
Another pilgrim
you'll then be able to
enters the
talk to her and
savage
she'll
path.
give you lots of the story, like the dialogue about everything that's going on. And if you keep talking to her, she'll give you clues as to where the 3 champions are that you can go and defeat. So there's one up in the snow. So if you go right up to the Frost Temple, if you put your back to the Frost Temple and walk away from it again, there's a little clump of rocks. You'll see a little stone on the floor that has the Jabal Sag marking on it. You place your lure on that, and a mammoth, big mammoth boss will spawn, so you defeat that one. The second one, I'm going to miss one a minute, but I'm just going to jump right over here. The second one is over in the jungle. Where was it now? I found it the other day and I can't remember where it was now. Sort of marked it on my map. Boom. Is it further up here? I did mark it on my map somewhere. Right, I think it's right about on this corner here, just before you get around into Buccaneer Bay, which is the Panther.
Down.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. So you've got the Panther, which is in the jungle, and then your third one, which I was playing dumb when I heard the clue at first. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what do you mean? Ship embedded in the sand. Of course, they're referring to the Black Galleon, and it's just about on this side here. If you haven't seen Angar's latest video previously to his beginner's guide, his beginner's guide episode that he did on Wednesday, I think it was, he actually did all 3 of these fights. So if you check that out, you'll be able to see it on there where he did it, because he did actually come here and do the fight, so you'll kind of have an idea of where you're coming to. I believe it's round about here somewhere. Yep, there we go. So that's the type of stone that you're looking for. And when you bought the lure from the guy back up at the thing, you can place it on here, and big cloud of smoke there, the boss will spawn in, and it's a big rhino. So it's a rhino here, panther in the jungle, and a great big mammoth in the snow. We'll do these again soon as well in a little video. I'll have a run through them in a video and show all 3 off, taking them on again just so that you can see what's going on. But that is where your 3 little bosses are. So then when you defeated them, you can make your way back to the den. And obviously the more fangs that you get, I can't remember the number, I think he said something like, Angar was saying, to get enough fangs to buy absolutely everything.
Chance would be a fine thing, loudly crying face.
Yeah, chance would be a fine thing. Yeah. You would need a lot of fangs, obviously, to buy every single item. And I think he said it works out like just doing the 3 main bosses, so those 3 champions, not the one that's under the Almeria, but just the 3 main bosses. You'd have to do each of them, all 3, something like 69 times or something, if not more, to have enough fangs to purchase every single item, because just this cape alone, the regalia for example, is 1,000, which is quite steep. But yeah, these are the guys I was on about. When you have these as a pet, they don't take any damage from NPCs. This is a bug. but they will kill everything. But if you get attacked by one of these, as you saw me do at the start of the stream, or you're okay, but if your follower gets attacked by one, they will not attack them, even if you give them the attack command, because essentially to them they are cloaked and invisible. So you'll need to protect your follower. If you've got pets or people outside your base now, and you play on an official server or a community server where there's always people online, keep your followers inside, because if somebody runs past and one of these hyenas spawns on them, but it ignores them and goes for your people, you'll be waking up with NPCs missing the next day, and probably very upset. So yeah, we've rolled over slightly again. Unbelievably, that is 9 o'clock once again. There's just so much to get through, so much information with this new chapter, so much stuff to look at. But thank you so much once again, each and every one of you, for being here. Thanks for all your comments, thanks for all the chat, thanks for the humour, thanks for the support. Very, very much appreciated. If you would leave a like on this stream if you haven't already, again, very much appreciated. Thank you for being here once again. Great to have you all here. Hope you've enjoyed. That is another one over and done with. So if you're around in Angor stream on Sunday, I shall catch you in the chat on Sunday. Failing that, hopefully some videos to come from me very shortly.
Thank you for the stream.
And we'll be back
Cheers for the stream, labs.
with our next stream next Friday, 7 PM UK time once again.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you all for being here. Have a good rest of your weekend. As I say, see you Sunday or in a future video, or next Friday, 7 PM UK time. From me, bye bye for now.
Have a good night. What weekend lol. Thanks again for being you. Face blowing a kiss.